Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing you're never going to be extraordinary. Not famous, not rich, not a prodigy, not the best in the world at anything, just average. Most people would call that depressing. But what if it's actually one of the most freeing realizations you can have? Because nobody talks about being average. We talk about greatness, we talk about winning, we talk about becoming the next big thing. We almost never talk about the reality that most of us will live ordinary lives. And that's where the problem starts. From the time we're kids, we're told we're special, that we can be anything, that we can do anything. And while those ideas are meant to inspire us, they quietly create expectations that reality cannot always meet. Everybody wants to be the star, but statistically, most people won't be. And somehow we've turned that into something shameful. Think about social media. Every day you're shown people who seem to always have everything figured out. The entrepreneur making six figures at 19, the athlete breaking records, the musician going viral overnight, the creator gaining millions of followers. And after seeing enough of it, you start to ask yourself the dangerous question: what am I doing wrong? But that's the wrong question, because what you're seeing isn't normal. It's the highlight reel of billions of lives. The internet has given us access to the most successful people on earth 24 hours a day. And without realizing it, we compare our average Tuesday to someone else's best moment. No wonder so many people feel left behind. 100 years ago, you compared yourself to your neighbors. Today, you compare yourself to the rest of the world. And that's a game almost nobody wins. The strange thing is that being average wasn't always considered a failure. For most of human history, an ordinary life was enough. Having food on the table was enough. Having friends was enough. Raising a family was enough. Watching the sunset after a long day was enough. People still dreamed big, but their worth wasn't measured by how many strangers knew their name. Somewhere along the way, we started believing that ordinary wasn't enough anymore, and that if we weren't exceptional, we were wasting our potential. And that belief creates a kind of anxiety that never leaves, because no matter what you accomplish, there will always be someone doing better, someone richer, someone smarter, someone more talented, someone younger, someone more successful. And the finish line just keeps moving. You finally reach one goal and immediately feel pressure to chase another. It's exhausting, and yet millions of people spend their entire lives running that race. Here's something nobody wants to admit. Most people we admire will eventually be forgotten, not because they failed, but because time moves on. The biggest celebrities today won't dominate conversations forever. The greatest athletes eventually retire, the most popular creators eventually upload their last video, and the world keeps spinning. Even if extraordinary people are eventually forgotten, maybe being remembered forever isn't the point. Maybe living well is. That realization changes everything. Because if life isn't about becoming legendary, then what is it about? It's about the moments. The moments that nobody posts online, the conversations that last until 2 a.m, the inside jokes with friends, the excitement of starting something new, the feeling of accomplishing a goal that only you care about, the quiet drive home after a good day, the random memories that somehow stay with you for years. Those moments rarely go viral, but they're often what make life meaningful. Here's the part that surprised me. The people who seem happiest aren't always the people with the most impressive lives. Sometimes they're the people who stop trying to prove something. They stop treating life like a competition. They stop chasing validation from strangers. They stopped asking, how do I become extraordinary? They started asking, how do I build a life I actually enjoy? Those are very different questions. One depends on everyone else's opinion, and the other depends on your own. And maybe that's the unexpected truth. Being average isn't what hurts people. The fear of being average does. The fear of not standing out. The fear of not being enough. The fear that your life won't matter. But think about the people who matter most to you. Your best friend, your parents, your siblings, the teacher who believed in you, the person who helps you through a difficult time. They probably aren't world famous, yet they changed your life. Their impact wasn't measured in millions, it was measured in moments. And maybe that's how most meaningful lives work. Not through massive influence, but through small acts of kindness repeated over time. One conversation, one friendship, one small piece of kindness, one decision, one day at a time. The truth is, most of us will never be known by the entire world, but we don't need to be. You don't have to be extraordinary to matter. You don't have to become a legend to prove you have a good life. You don't have to outperform everyone around you to be worthy of respect. The internet may not celebrate your victories. History books may never mention your name, but that doesn't make your life any less valuable. In fact, some of the most beautiful lives are the ones nobody hears about. The father working long hours for his family. the friend who always shows up, the artist creating because they love it, the student trying their best, the person quietly becoming better every single day. Those stories don't trend, but they're real. And maybe real is better than being famous. So if you've ever felt average, here's something worth remembering. You are comparing yourself during an age where everybody is broadcasting their greatest moments. Of course you feel behind. Of course you feel ordinary. Most people do. But being average isn't a sentence, it's a reminder. A reminder that your value doesn't come from being the best. It comes from being here, living, learning, growing, laughing, loving, failing, and trying again. Because at the end of your life, people probably won't remember your follower count. They won't remember how many likes you got. They won't remember where you were ranked against everyone else. They'll remember how you made them feel. And maybe that's what matters the most. Not becoming extraordinary, but becoming someone worth remembering by the people who actually know you.